Hello students, once again welcome you to GK's Applied Math classes. Today we are going to do the remaining problems from exercise 15.2 linear programming ML Aggarwal. Okay, this is a part 4 of the video. I will be putting the link of part 1 to 3 in the description box for your reference. The introduction to LPP has been given in part 1, so you can always refer to it if you want to get more details about LPP. So we'll just solve problems from question number 20 to 25. Today mostly the questions will be on unbounded region. Okay, so let's start with this. Now, now here, what happens is, what is an LPP? Just a quick outline. Okay, a linear programming problem should have the following things. First is it should have an objective function. It should have an objective function. Objective function means it should be either maximize or minimize a linear function of the decision variables ax plus by. Subject to what are the constraints? The next is the constraints. Now what type of constraints? They are non-trivial constraints like a1x plus b1y less than or equal to c1, and then you have a2x plus b2y greater than or equal to c2, and so on. Then finally you have non-trivial, finally you have the trivial constraints. Now what is the constraint? Or otherwise called the non-negative constraint. Y greater than or equal to 0. We'll say it's a non-negative constraint. So this is an LPP, and till now, till question number 19 which we did, it was all about bounded region. Okay. Now all the questions will be based on unbounded region. So in the course of while doing the problem, I'll tell you how to go about it. Okay. So this is the first question. Question number 20 in your ML Aggarwal. A diet is to contain at least 80 units of vitamin A and 100 units of vitamin B. Okay. So first let me take this is vitamin A, and then this is vitamin B. And he says that it should contain at least 80 units. So at least 80 units means greater than or equal to, and at least 100 units of vitamin B. Now there are two types of food. What are they? F1 and F2. So I call this as F1 and I call this as F2. Now F1 and F2 are available at the cost of, now what is the cost? The F1 is available at rupees 5 per kg. It is available at rupees 5 per kg. Rupees 5 per kg. And F2 is available at rupees 6 per kg. So this is about the cost. Now one unit of food one contains 4 units of vitamin A and 3 units of mineral. Not vitamin B, it's mineral. So it contains 3 units of mineral. Whereas 1 unit of food 2 contains 3 units of vitamin A and 6 units of mineral. So whatever is given in the question, I have put it in a tabular form. Now it's time for us to solve it. Now formulate an LPP to find the minimum cost. Okay. So let X and Y kg be the quantity of what? Quantity of food F1 and F2. They are the two quantities of food F1 and F2. Now what is my objective? My objective function is minimize Z equal to 5x plus 6y. It's a minimization problem. You can see find the minimum cost. So minimize Z equal to 5x plus 6y. Subject to what is the constraints? Now what are the constraints? The constraints are 4x plus 3y is greater than or equal to 80, and 3x plus 6y is greater than or equal to 100. So these are the two constraints. And then you have the non-negative constraint. What is a non-negative constraint? x is greater than or equal to 0, y is greater than or equal to 0. So this formulated an LPP. So I have formulated it. Now it's time for me to solve this problem. Now how do I solve it? As usual, we go for the first equation, that is 4x plus 3y equal to 80, and I just do the usual calculation. When I say x is 0, y is 100 by 3, and then when I say y is 0, x is 20. Okay. Then what happens? I have 3x plus 6y equal to 100. Take a tabular column. When x is 0, I think I should get y as 80 by 3, right? Calculation mistake. X is 0, y is 80 by 3. So this is x and y. When x is 0, y is what? 50 by 3. When y is 0, x is 100 by 3. So all necessary calculations are done. Okay. When x is 0, y is 80 by 3, y is 0, x is 20. X is 0, y is 50 by 3, and y is 0, 100 by 3. Okay, now I want to draw the graph. Now how do I draw the graph? Let me take the x-axis and y-axis. Okay, I'll copy it and keep. So I need one more copy. This is my x-axis and this is my y-axis. This is my y-axis. It's not moving. What is the problem? Okay. Now it's moving finally. So this is my x-axis and y-axis. Now let me plot this. It is actually 0, 80 by 3, and this is 50 by 3. So 80 by 3 is bigger. So 0, 80 by 3 will be somewhere here. 0, 80 by 3, followed by 20, 0. So 20, 0 is here. So it's 20, 0, and this is the line, and it passes through this. So what is the equation? The equation is 4x plus 3y plus 3y equal to 80. Now what is the next one? The next one is going to be 0, 50 by 3. This is 80 by 3. So 50 by 3 will be somewhere around this place. 0, 50 by 3. And 100 by 3. 100 by 3 is 33 point something. So it is somewhere far down here. 100 by 3, 0. Now what's the line? The line is this. What is the equation of this line? The equation of this line is 3x plus 6y equal to 100. So the graph is done. Now it is time to shade and check whether it is what the feasible region is. So what do? Take origin and substitute in equation 1 and 2. If I substitute in 1, I'll get 0 is greater than 80, which is false. So it cannot be towards origin. It cannot be towards origin. It has to be away from origin. So let me use the red color. It represents the red line. It's away from origin. Now what do? Substitute again origin in the second equation. You get 0 greater than 100, which is also false. So it can't be towards origin. It has to be away from origin. So this is away from origin. So where is the overlap? So the overlap is, this is my overlap. This is the overlap, correct? So what type of feasible region? So the feasible region is bounded, unbounded. You can say the feasible region is unbounded. When it is unbounded, it's complicated. Okay, feasible region is unbounded. Now, I want to take the values. So, what are the vertex? The corner points are A, this is B, and this is C. So, what are the corner points? Corner points are A 100 by 3, comma 0. B, I need to find it. You can solve these two equations and get. I think I am getting it as 12 comma 32 by 3. 12 comma 32 by 3. You can just check 12 comma 32 by 3. And obviously my C is 0 comma 80 by 3. Then I find the corresponding Z values. And my corresponding Z values are 500 by 3. Okay, which is roughly 166.23, and this is Z equal to, I'm getting 124, and here Z equal to 160, correct? So these are the minimum values. But then since it is an unbounded region, it is necessary for me to check open half plane. Okay, so now what is this open half plane? Very simple. Watch this. I'm going to write open half plane. Since the question is to minimize, which is the minimum value? This is my minimum value. Take that and put it in Z. What is Z? 5x plus 6y strictly less than 124. You cannot put less than or equal to, it has to be strictly less than 124. So this is an open half plane. Now I have to draw the line for that. How do I draw? 5x plus 6y equal to 124. Take it as equal to and sketch the graph. Definitely one point will be 12 comma 32 by 3, because that is where you got 124. Correct? Definitely it will be the case. Now when x is 0, what is y? Y is 31. When x is 0, y is 31. Now plot this. I am plotting it. Okay, I am plotting with the in the purple color. Just watch this. So definitely this, and definitely somewhere here. Okay, this is 33, so 30 will be somewhere around here. So I am drawing the line. I will not use this. I have to draw dotted lines. So this is the line which corresponds to 5x plus 6y less than 24. Less than means, why I draw dotted line? Because points on this line is not satisfied. Okay? This line is not included in this inequality. Actually, this point 12 comma 32 by 3 don't belong to the open half plane. They don't belong to this line. Okay? They don't lie on it because it is less than 124. Okay? Now what do you do? Substitute origin. When you substitute origin, you get 0 less than 124, which is absolutely true. So my open half plane will be, so this will be my open half plane. Watch this, see. This is my open half plane. So clearly, the open half plane and the unbounded region have no point in common. That you have to write. Open half plane have no points in common with the feasible region, with the unbounded region. This implies, you can say z equal to 124 is the minimum cost, for what? For 12 kg of F1 and 32 by 3 kg of F2. So whenever you get an unbounded region, you have to draw the open of plane and check whether the open of plane and the unbounded region have points in common. If they don't have points in common, then that is the minimum value. If they have points in common, that is not the minimum value. Okay, keep that in mind. Okay, so let's go to the next question. I'll just copy this and keep. Okay, we'll see later. Okay, let's go to the next question. A dietitian wishes to mix two types of food in such a way that the vitamin content of the mixture contains at least 8 units of vitamin A and 10 units of vitamin C. Food 1 contains 2 units per kg of vitamin A, 1 unit per kg of vitamin C. Food 2 contains 1 unit of vitamin A and 2 units of vitamin C. It costs rupees 50 per kg on purchase of 1, 70 per kg on purchase of food 2. Determine the minimum cost. It is just like the previous question. So what I will do, I will take, first I will write via the table. This is my vitamin A, this is my vitamin B, and this is the food 1, and this is food 2, and this is my cost. And it costs how much? It cost me rupees 50, and it cost me rupees 70, and the content contains at least 8 units of vitamin A and 10 units of vitamin B, and therefore food 1 contains 2 units of vitamin A and 1 unit of vitamin C, and food 2 contains 1 unit of vitamin A and 2 units of vitamin C. So everything is formulated. Now what do you do? Objective. Minimize Z equal to 50x plus 70y. So what is my constraint? The constraints are 2x plus y is greater than or equal to 8, and then x plus 2y is greater than or equal to 10. So these are my constraints. So obviously x is greater than or equal to 0 and y is greater than or equal to 0 is a non-negative constraint. Now I have formulated the LPP. Now it's time to solve. So first I will take 2x plus y equal to 8 and plot the graph. The same stories. X is 0, y is 8, y is 0, x is 4. Now this is x plus 2y equal to 10. If I plot this, what do I get? X is 0, y is 5, y is 0, x is 10. So that finishes this part. Now what do you do? Go to x-axis. This is my x-axis and I have my y-axis. X-axis and y-axis. Now how do I plot it? 0, 8. So let's take 0, 8, 0, 8, and then 4, 0. So 4, 0 is somewhere here. It is 4, 0, and this is the line. And what is the equation? The equation is 2x plus y equal to 8. Now go to the second equation. What is the second point? 0, 5. So 0, 5 is supposed to be here. And 10, 0. 10, 0 is far down here. 10, 0. Now draw the graph. Okay, that's done. And what is the equation? The equation is x plus 2y equal to 10. So it's all done. Now it's time to check whether whether the solution is correct or not. Okay, so let's see. Let's take origin and substitute here. 0 greater than 8, which is false, so it can't be towards origin, it has to be away from origin. Now go to the next line. What is the next line? Substitute origin in the second line. You get 0 is greater than 10, which is also false, so it has to be away from origin. So where is the feasible region? So the feasible region is unbounded. Can you see it? So this is my feasible region, which is unbounded. And let me name it as A. Sorry, this is my A, and this is B, and this is my C. So you will write the feasible region is unbounded. The feasible region is unbounded. And what are the corner points? The corner points are A, that is 10, 0. B, I need to find. C is 0, 8. Now when I solve B, I am getting B as 2, 4. And I find the corresponding Z values. What are the corresponding Z values? You can substitute here. I am getting it as 500, 380, and finally I get 560. Since it is a question on minimize, okay, I have to write the open half plane. It's unbounded, right? So open half plane. Open half plane. Now how do I write the open half plane? 50x plus 70y is less than 380. We can cancel the zeros, so it will become 5x plus 7y equal to 38. So you can draw a table. I am just taking equal to draw the graph. So definitely one point will be 2, 4. You can check it. The other one will be when you put y as 0, my x will be 7.35, no? 35, 36, 30, so 7.6. Okay, so 7.6 will be somewhere down here. Okay, and this is my line. Why do I do dotted line? Because it is strictly less than. Points on the line don't belong to the inequality. Okay, now let's substitute origin. When I substitute origin, what happens? 0 is less than 380, which is true. So it is towards origin. So let me shade that region. So this is my open half plane. This is my open half plane. Now clearly you can see the open half plane and the unbounded region have no points in common. So let me take it from here, otherwise I have to write. Okay. So open half plane have no point in common with the feasible region. Therefore, what is the answer? Therefore, z equal to 380 is the minimum cost for what? For taking 2 units of 1 and 4 units of 2. So very simple, just like the previous question, it is not at all complicated. Is it clear? Now let's go to the next question. Now look at this problem. The second question, the 22nd question is, Reshma wishes to mix 2 types of food. Okay, Reshma wishes to mix 2 types of food. 21, okay. Wishes to mix 2 types of food, P and Q, in such a way that the vitamin content contains at least 8 units of A and 11 units of B, and food P costs rupees 60 and food Q costs rupees 80. P contains 3 units of vitamin A and 5 units of vitamin B, while food Q contains 4 units of vitamin A and 2 units of vitamin B. Determine the minimum cost of the mixture. I think this is exactly like this previous question. Okay, only the numbers are different. Only the numbers are different. So why don't you? I will just leave it to you. Please try and do it by yourself. Okay. I'll go to the next question, 23. 22nd, I think it's possible to do because there's no difficulty at all. It is exactly like this. Okay, exactly. The only difference is the numbers are different. See, only the numbers are different. The cost will be 60x plus 70y. If you want, I can write that for you. Z equal to 60x plus 80y. 80y subject to what? 80y subject to at least 8, right? So it is greater than or equal to 8, and food A contains 3 units, and in food Q it will be 4 units, so 4y, and in the next case it will be food 1 contains 3 units of vitamin A and 5 units of vitamin B, so it is 5x, and food Q plus 2y is greater than or equal to 11, x greater than or equal to 0, y greater than or equal to 0. So this is the equation. I think you can do it by yourself, it's not difficult. Try to solve it. If you still have a doubt, you can always put your comment in the description box. Otherwise, same type of question, so much time is wasted. We'll go to question number 23. Now question number 23 is, a farmer has a supply of chemical fertilizer of type A which contains 10% nitrogen, 6% phosphorus, and of type B which contains 5% nitrogen and 10% phosphorus. After soil test, it was found that at least 7 kg of nitrogen and same quantity of phosphorus is required for a good crop. The fertilizer of type A costs rupees 5 and type B costs rupees 8. Using linear programming problem, how many kgs of each type of fertilizer should be bought to meet the requirement and for the cost to be minimum? So since they have said that, I will write let I will come to that later if you want. First we will write what are the nitrogen and phosphorus peak, and there are 2 types of food. What are they? Type A and type B. Okay. Now what is the first condition? Food contains 10% of nitrogen and 6% of phosphor, and type B contains 5% nitrogen and it contains 10% phosphorus, and it is found that it has at least 7 kg. So at least means greater than or equal to 7 kg of nitrogen, and it also contains the same quantity of phosphorus, so it is also 7. Okay. Now what is the cost? Cost is rupees 5 per kg. This is costing rupees 8 per kg. Okay. Now how do I formulate an LPP? Let x comma y be the quantity of A and B, Okay. And now what do? Minimize z equal to 5x plus 8y. Minimize z equal to 5x plus 8y. Subject to what? Subject to constraints. What are the constraints? The constraints are 10 by 100x plus 5 by 100y is greater than or equal to 7. So this is x by 10 plus y by 20 is greater than or equal to 7. So if you take LCM, you get 2x plus y is greater than or equal to 140. So call this as equation 1. This is my first constraint. What is my second constraint? And my second constraint is 6x by 100 plus 10y by 100 is greater than or equal to 700. Is greater than or equal to 7. So what do you get here? So you get 3x plus 5y is greater than or equal to 350. You can cancel 2. It will become 50. 50 into 7 is 350. So call this as equation 2. Okay. Now what do you do? Finally, the non-negative constraint. X is greater than or equal to 0. Y is greater than or equal to 0. Now I have formulated the LP. Now, as usual, same thing. I will take 2x plus y equal to 140 and try to draw the graph. This is x and this is y. X is 0, y is 140. Y is 0, x is 70. Now this is 3x plus 5y equal to 350. So what do I get? When x is 0, y is 70. When y is 0, x will be 350 by 3. Okay, 350 by 3, which is does it go correctly? 3 ones are 3. No, it doesn't go. So 350 by 3. Now how do I plot the graph? I need the line, that is my x-axis. So this is my x-axis and this is my y-axis. Now let's plot it. 0, 140. So 0, 140 is this. 0, 140, and then 70, 0. 70, 0 is this. 70, 0, and this is the line. So what is the equation of this line? The equation of this line is 2x plus y equal to 140. Now go to the next one. It is 0, 70. 0, 70 is going to be somewhere here in the middle. 0, 70 followed by what? Followed by 1, 350, 3. 350 is more than 100. So it's going to be down here. So don't approximate it, just write as it is. And the graph. It's very simple. And what is this equation? This equation is 3x plus 5y equal to 350. Now, if you substitute origin in 1 and 2, it will be both false, because you'll get 0 greater than 140 and you'll get 0 greater than 350. You'll get 0 greater than 140 and you get 0 greater than 350, which is both false. So it can't be towards origin, it has to be away from origin, so it is an unbounded region. So let me shade that. This is the feasible region. What is the feasible region here? This is unbounded. You can say feasible region is unbounded. Once you get feasible region is unbounded, what you will do? You will find the corner points. So what are the corner points? Corner points are A, B and C. So what is A? A is 350 by 3, 0. B I need to find, which I have already done, which is 50, 40. And my C will be 0, 140. Now find the corresponding Z values. Now the corresponding Z values are, I am getting 583.3. 583.3, and the next one is 570, and my third value is 1120. You do the calculation, it's not difficult. So minimum is this. So since this is unbounded, what you're supposed to do? Open half plane. So you get open half plane. In the open half plane, what is the open half plane here? It is actually 5x plus 8y, that is your z, right? 5x plus 8y, 5x plus 8y, strictly less than 570. So now plot the graph. This is x and y. One of the value will definitely be 50, 40. And when you put y is 0, x will be 1, 1, 4. Okay. So if you plot this, you'll get somewhere down here. Okay. So this dotted line, y dotted line, you know it now, right? And if you substitute origin, what happens? You get 0 less than 570, so it is towards origin. Okay. This is your open half plane. This is your open half plane. Now what do you know? What do you know here? One second, something wrong. Okay. Clearly, your open half plane, open half plane, have no point in common with the feasible region. Since it has no point in common with the feasible region, what do you know? The minimum value is, the minimum z is 570, for x is equal to 50 and y equal to 40. It's very simple, straightforward question. Isn't it easy? It's unbound. Only thing is, the difficulty is always in forming the equation. If you get the equation right, the method is the same. Okay. Now let's go to the next question. What is question number 24? Okay. David wants to invest at most 12,000 in bond A and B. Okay. He wants to invest at least 12,000 in bond A and B. According to the rule, he has to invest at least 2,000 in bond A and at least 4,000 in bond B. If the rate of interest in bond A and bond B are 8% and 10% per annum, formulate the LPP. Okay. Simple. Now let's take bond A and this is bond B. David wants to invest 12,000 on bond A. So at most he cannot invest more, he can only invest 12,000. Okay. Bond A and bond B together. Okay. So you cannot invest more than that. Okay. This is the total investment. I'll write invest. You can invest maximum 12,000. According to the rule, he has to invest at least 2,000 on bond A. So he cannot invest more than that, 2,000 on bond A and 4,000 on bond B. If the rate of interest of bond A and bond B are 8%, so what is the interest rate? Interest rate is 8% and 10% per annum. Formulate the LPP for maximum interest. So the question is to maximize what? Maximize the interest. So Z equal to 8 by 100x plus 10 by 100y. Correct? 8 by 100x plus 10 by 100y. Because you have to maximize the interest. The interest is 8% and 10%. Now, what are the constraints? The constraints are, first constraint is you invested X on bond A, Y on bond B. So the total investment cannot exceed 12,000. It cannot exceed 12,000. That is what the question is saying. David want to invest 12,000 in bond A and bond B. That means bond A and bond B together cannot exceed 12,000. That's the first condition. The next one is, for bond A, he is talking about bond A alone. What is bond A? He has to invest at least 2,000 in bond A. So minimum 2,000 in bond A. So X is greater than or equal to 2,000. And at least 4,000 in bond B. What will be that? Y greater than or equal to 4,000. So here there are three constraints. 1, 2 and 3. And finally you have the non-negative constraints. Correct? So now what do? You take the equation x plus, as usual, you go to x plus y equal to 12,000 and draw the table, even though it's not required in this case, but you draw it. X is 0, y is 12,000, y is 0, x is 12,000. Okay. Now let's go to x-axis. This is my x-axis, and there goes the y-axis. Okay, let's plot. It's 0, 12,000. So 0, 12,000 and 12,000, 0. So now the first line is ready. Join it. Go there. This is x plus y equal to 12,000. So that's job done. Now x is equal to 2,000 is a line parallel to y-axis at 2,000, 0, right? So let us say this is 2,000, 0, 2,000, 0. Now let's draw that line. This is the line. What is the equation of this line? It is actually x is equal to 2,000. Now y equal to 4,000. Y equal to 4,000. This is somewhere 4,000 will be here. So I'll take some other line. This is 4,000. So 0, 4,000. Plot the line. Okay. Now it's time to shade. How do I shade it? First, what you do, take origin for the first line. I use the red color for the first line, and I get 0 less than 12,000. So this is true. So it is towards origin. So this is towards origin. Correct? Other things, nothing to verify. It's very easy. X is greater than 2,000 means greater than 2,000. Correct? And y is greater than 4,000 means it's greater than 4,000. Correct? So where do you see all the arrow? So this is my feasible region. It's a bounded region. Okay? It's a bounded feasible region. And what is the alphabets? Let me take it as vertex as A, B, and C. So what you will say? You will say the feasible region O is what? A, B, C. And what type of feasible region? It is bounded. Okay. Then what are the corner points? The corner points are A, I need to find. B also I need to find. C also I need to find. I have already found it. A is 2,000, 4,000. 2,000, 4,000. And B will be 4,000, 8,000. 4,000, 8,000. Okay. And C is 2000 comma 1000. 2000 comma 1000. So what are the z values? The z values are it is 560, 1120 and 1160. Okay, so obviously the question is to receive maximum interest, right? So the maximum interest is this, so you get maximum interest z equal to 1160 at x is at 2000 and y for 1000. Is that clear? I have one more question to do, that is transportation problem. It is going to be a little lengthy, already it's quite a bit of time. So what I will do the transportation problem next class as a separate video, because it is difficult, it takes a lot of time to do it. Okay, I hope you have understood these things. Kindly subscribe to my channel and also click the bell icon to get notifications on all videos that we post. I hope these videos are very useful to you, and thank you for your support. See you again in the next class. Bye bye. Thank you.